Now, this place is known as the home of the canned beer apocalypse.
Good garden peas, you got me knocking in my knees. My legs they quiver when you come and give your hand to me. I can't move my feet, I can't use my noodle. Yep, doodle.
Welcome back to the Happy Hour, guys. We are in Longmont, Colorado at Oskar Blues.
Look at the cans on that pallet.
We're going to let you know more about that as we go along, but for now we got Marty Jones, whose official title here is lead singer and idea man. I think we're going to like it here. Thanks for taking some time with us today.
You're welcome. Thank you very much for being here.
Absolutely. We're going to the canning line, not the bottling line. We're going to the canning line.
Yeah, we started our endeavor with a tabletop machine that did one can at a time, and jokingly referred it to the canned beer apocalypse. We started in the basement of the pub, then we moved into the bar, an abandoned barn that was next door to the pub. Then we filled that up and we built a small brewery building, a new building to put a bigger brewing system in the canning line. And then we outgrew that and filled up every inch of floor space with tanks, and our guys couldn't move around. And then Dale got a hold of this place here in Longmont.
All right, happy hour people, quick quiz. What are two enemies of packaged beer? One, oxygen, and two, light. You think any of those things can get into a can? Thus, canned beer equals really well cared for beer.
You know, Dale's idea was, well, let's get the cans, and instead of putting, you know, at the time a couple craft brewers were having some beer canned for them under contract by other companies. And typically they took the most mainstream, accessible beer. But Dale's idea was, no, let's take our big hoppy American Strong Pale Ale, Dale's Pale Ale. It's about 6.5% alcohol, 65 IBUs. Let's squeeze that into a can and just blow people's minds as far as what a canned beer can be.
So the idea then for canning, I mean, obviously we've talked before about the environmental impact and the fact that it's easier on shipping and it's all that kind of stuff. Really for you guys, it was just about, hey, let's just throw everybody a curveball.
Yeah, I mean, the initial reason we're in cans is because we thought it would be really funny. You know, Dale likes to have a good time. Our whole company culture is involved in the pursuit of happiness while making an honest buck or two, and beer is sort of the vehicle. Beer and hospitality at our pub.
Jeremy Rudolph.
Jeremy, and what is your position here at Oskar Blues?
Whatever's required.
That's not a bad job to have here.
I got it made. I gotta say, definitely got it made. We all do. So they just all goes together. We like having fun. We love good beer. We love riding our bikes. We love playing in the water, and that's why we got good beer in a can.
All right, Jeremy, take us on a little tour of that monster you call the canning line. You get pallets of 8,000 cans apiece, and then what?
Setting them single file, and then they run down through a twist rinser. We like to take an extra step, wash the inside and outside of the can. They come down and get labeled as well when they go through the twist rinser, so you'll see on the bottom of the can, you're coated. You're ready to go. Canned on, today's date, the minute it was canned, the batch number. Now you know. From there they go down into the filler. Before they go into the filler, the cans are filled with CO2. It's to get any ambient air out of the can before they go into the filler. When they ride into the filler, from the filler, lifts up the cans into the fill head. Once the can's fully pressurized to the same pressure that's above the beer in the bowl above it, the beer will just flow down right into the can. Rides through. There's a what we call a foam flush bubble breaker, so if any bubbles form on the top of the beer, we don't want it to pick up any ambient air in those bubbles, so we break them. In the seamer, lids come down. They're fogged with CO2 under the lid as it's put onto the beer, so again, you're not capturing any ambient air. We've got 18 fill heads and 4 sets of seamers. That's why we're able to run at about 160 cans a minute. Out through the seamer, into our little homemade rinser. Down the line, we check the fill, then off to a little bit of a collection area. After it collects for a moment, it runs down through the dryer where the boys have their way with it and put it into packages.
Now it goes without saying that Oskar Blues is an amazing brewery that makes some incredible beer. And don't worry, we're going to get very in-depth, woohoo, on the brewery and the beers in a future episode. So why spend a whole episode just talking about cans and a canning line? Well, cans are better for the beer and better for the environment. So good for you guys, Oskar Blues, and happy hour people, start looking for craft beer in a can. We'll see you next time.
Explain to us what we're seeing. Oh, that's my bling. Look, I thought I was knocking something off myself. I'm not used to being blinged.